Alright, so Duet Night Abyss just shook things up big time. The devs ditched the old gacha style star power system and went for something way more balanced, kinda like Warframe's approach. Now, instead of certain characters dominating just because they had higher rarity, everyone's actually closer in power. That means your favorite character can finally shine without being completely outclassed by the so-called meta picks. Pretty cool, right? But of course, even with this new balance, not every character fits the same role perfectly. Some are clearly better for your main slot. They hit harder, flow smoother, and just feel right when you're leading the fight. Others, they make amazing companions that boost your team's synergy or provide clutch support when things get tough. So today, we're ranking them all, from the best mains to the must-have sidekicks, in our brand new Duet Night Abyss character tier list. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking main characters in Duet Night Abyss. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching!
My friends, only 0.1% of viewers subscribe. If you like this type of content, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you in advance for your support.
The main characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Margie, Outsider, and Daphne. You know that moment when you pull a character and think, okay, this might just be my secret weapon. And then 10 minutes later, you realize you've basically adopted a goldfish with a sword. Yeah, welcome to the C tier of Duet Night Abyss. These are the heroes who try really hard, but the game just doesn't love them back. Let's talk about them. Let's start with Margie, the queen of jackpot explosions. Her whole deal is stacking jackpot by picking up nearby items and then cashing it all in with her ultimate for a big area of effect boom. Sounds fun, right? And honestly, it is for farming runs. Watching everything around you go kaboom feels great for about 5 minutes. The problem is, once you hit late game modes or start fighting bosses, her damage starts feeling like she's throwing coins instead of bombs. Margie's like that friend who brings confetti to a sword fight, fun to have around, but not really helping you win. Now, Outsider. Oh boy, he's the kind of guy who walks into battle thinking he's invincible, until the healing ban hits. His ultimate puts him in this pumped up state where he attacks faster and tanks damage through shields, but here's the catch, while you're all buffed up, you can't heal. Sure, he has a slick trick with Stealthy Prowl, a move that lets him vanish when things get rough, but that doesn't save his overall damage output. Even with the melee boost from his ultimate, his numbers just don't climb high enough. Honestly, I wish his ultimate had more of that high risk, high reward energy, like let him lose health but gain huge damage or extra attack speed, something that lets you kite enemies and melt bosses instead of just standing there with your shiny shields. Oh, and imagine if going stealth didn't cancel his ultimate and actually gave bonus critical damage. That would turn him into a total menace, but as he is right now, Outsider feels more like a tank who forgot his damage at home. A safe character, sure, but not one that's going to carry your late game dreams. Then we have Daphne, and she's complicated. On paper, her damage is totally fine. She fires off ACOF projectiles that increase trigger probability, meaning you can still get some satisfying bursts of damage. But here's the twist, she's actually way better as a companion than a main. Her abilities support the team so well that using her as your frontliner just feels wrong, like making your healer the main tank. She shines in the background, quietly boosting your squad while others take the spotlight. So yeah, C tier isn't exactly where the legends live, but it's also not the bottom of the abyss. These characters can be fun if you play them right. They just take more effort for less payoff. If you want easy mode, stick to the top tiers. But if you're into quirky mechanics, unpredictable builds, and the occasional "why isn't this working" moment, then these three will keep you entertained, if nothing else. The main characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Hellfire, Tabev, Randy, Rhythm, Truffle, and Filbert, and Rebecca. Alright, now we're climbing out of the pit and into the B tier, the land of characters who almost make you believe they belong in a tier, until something goes slightly wrong. These are the heroes who get the job done, but not without a few facepalm moments along the way. They're solid, they're fun, and they'll carry you through most of Duet Night Abyss. Just don't expect them to solo God himself. Let's kick things off with Hellfire because this fiery tank is exactly what her name suggests. An absolute wall of burning chaos. Her entire kit revolves around tanking hits and protecting the team, which makes her super useful if you like being the one yelling "hit me instead" while your companions do the real work. As a main, it's fun to taunt enemies and soak up punishment, but she really shines more as a companion. During progression, she's an A or even S tier pick thanks to her insane area of effect damage from her skills and ultimate. But when it's boss time, her damage drops off faster than your Wi-Fi in a thunderstorm. She's the heart of the team, not the blade. Moving on to Tabafi, who's basically the anti-Rebecca. While Rebecca thrives in clearing hordes of enemies, Tabafi lives for those boss fights. Her entire playstyle revolves around landing critical hits, popping her ultimate to spawn an army of tentacles, and then spamming her skill to make them attack and buff your allies. It sounds weird, it is weird, and it's also weirdly satisfying. Against bosses, those tentacles laser focus like they've got a personal vendetta, turning big enemies into tentacle piñatas. Plus, the skill's damage buff makes her a fantastic support when she's not the main character. Definitely one of the more versatile mains in this tier. Now, Randy, the guy who shows up to a fight with a shield and good intentions. He's very much a support first, damage dealer second kind of character. His area of effect attacks are decent, and he can hold his own against bosses thanks to his tankiness. But if you're expecting high tier DPS, you're gonna be disappointed. Randy's real strength lies in keeping your party alive and blocking damage that would have otherwise ruined your day. Think of him as the reliable teammate who never tops the scoreboard but is always the reason you win anyway. Then there's Rhythm, and oh boy, the name fits. She moves like she's dancing across the battlefield, dodging, dashing, pulling enemies in, pushing them away, basically chaos on legs. The thing is, she's a jack of all trades but master of none. Her damage is good but not great. Her support potential is solid but situational. Her ultimate's push-pull mechanic can be fun if you have a companion with strong area of effect attacks, letting you group enemies together for massive combos, and if you build her around her charge stacks, her damage can actually become quite respectable. She's fast, flashy, and fun, just don't expect her to break the meta. Now, let's talk about Truffle and Filbert, the dynamic duo that feels like a buddy comedy disguised as a battle unit. They lean more towards support, but unlike Daphne, they can actually hold their own in both progression and boss fights. Their skill and ultimate deal decent area of effect damage, and their mobility makes them surprisingly slippery in combat. The only real downside, when they use their ultimate, they can't use their weapon for a while, which means your damage output dips temporarily. Still, they're great for players who love hybrid playstyles and enjoy multitasking in battle. Back to Hellfire for a second, because she really does deserve more love than she gets. There's something satisfying about standing in a crowd of enemies, flames swirling around you while your companions rain destruction from the backline. She's like that overprotective older sister who takes all the hits so the rest of the team can shine. In the right setup, she's a hero you can absolutely rely on, even if she's not the one dealing the killing blow. And speaking of family energy, Tabafi feels like that overachieving younger sibling who's constantly proving herself. She's flashy, she's powerful, and when her tentacles are unleashed, it feels like the entire screen turns into an anime boss fight. The best part? She doesn't just bring damage, she brings utility. Those buffs she provides make your whole team stronger, which means she's never a wasted slot. Meanwhile, Randy might not get the spotlight, but he's got that quiet confidence. His shield save runs more often than you realize. Sure, he's not flashy like Tabafi or fiery like Hellfire, but he's dependable. Every team needs a Randy, the one holding the line while everyone else shows off. Rhythm, on the other hand, is pure fun factor. She's for players who like momentum, who like zipping around the map and making enemies dizzy. Her kit rewards constant motion, and once you start stacking those charge buffs through sanity expenditure, her damage ramps up nicely. She's not going to dominate leaderboards, but she will make you feel cool while playing. Then we have Truffle and Filbert again, because honestly, they're adorable chaos. They don't hit as hard as the A or S tier mains, but their versatility and damage consistency make them valuable teammates. They're like a Swiss army knife. Not the sharpest tool, but always useful to have. Finally, let's wrap up with Rebecca, who's all about poison, patience, and payoff. She deals damage over time by stacking poisons through her attacks and summons, then detonates everything with her ultimate for massive area of effect explosions. On top of that, her passive spreads those poison stacks when enemies die, turning her into a walking plague machine during farming. She's amazing at clearing groups, but not as efficient against bosses since poison spreading becomes limited. That said, if you're good at kiting and timing, her single target damage can still surprise you. And with the more summons Intron, she can even climb to A or S tier status, though to be fair, that upgrade makes almost everyone stronger. So yeah, the B tier roster is full of characters that are good, sometimes very good, but not quite top tier broken. They're the dependable workhorses of Duet Night Abyss, carrying you through most of the game with a mix of style, utility, and the occasional burst of brilliance. They might not dominate the rankings, but they'll make your playthroughs a whole lot more fun. The main characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Yale and Oliver, Lady Nightfall, Sibyl, and Berenica. Alright, now we're officially stepping into a tier territory, the point where Duet Night Abyss characters start feeling really satisfying to play. These are the heroes who don't just get the job done, they make you feel like you actually know what you're doing. They've got strong kits, powerful combos, and the kind of mechanics that make you grin when everything clicks. They're not broken, but they're dangerously close. Let's start with Yale and Oliver, the ultimate demolition duo. These two are all about chaos. Pure, fiery, beautifully calculated chaos. Their playstyle revolves around stacking bombs and mines to create massive pyro explosions that clear out both crowds and bosses in seconds. It's like orchestrating a symphony of explosions, if your instruments were dynamite. The only catch? You need a real human brain to pull it off properly. The AI doesn't quite understand the art of boom choreography, so you have to be the one arranging every bomb and timing every detonation for that glorious crescendo. When you do it right though, it's fireworks and satisfaction all day long. Next up, Lady Nightfall, the queen of balance between grace and brutality. She's all about duality, Solar for attack debuffs, Luna for slowing enemies, and a rhythm that keeps bosses constantly off their footing. Against single targets, she absolutely shines. You can kite, weaken, and melt them down while staying relatively safe. Now, in progression or farming stages, she's just okay because being too focused on debuffing means you sacrifice raw DPS. But for boss fights, she's top tier. Her ultimate lets you spam both Solar and Luna skills, and the overcapped skill range bonus cranks up her damage output even higher. It's the perfect mix of utility and power, elegant, deadly, and very satisfying to play. Then there's Sibyl, the electric wildcard of the bunch. She's in a bit of an awkward spot because her skill targets random enemies, which can make her a little unpredictable. To really make her shine, you need to stack up a ton of might and thunder from her bonus effect to supercharge her ultimate's area of effect damage. When everything lines up, when her skill hits the right target, and you've built up your bonus effect stacks, she absolutely fries enemies. But when it doesn't, well, let's just say you'll be praying her lightning has good aim. Late game, mastering her is all about timing and strategy. Use her empowered Might of Thunder ultimate to link enemies for huge AoE damage and save her empowered skill for bosses to deliver heavy single target nukes. Now, Berenica, the legend, the myth, the former queen of the meta. Back in the gacha days before the star system got reworked, she was basically unstoppable, and even after the nerfs, she's still an incredible main DP carry. Her entire playstyle revolves around summoning as many sword waves as possible during her ultimate before her sanity runs out. And trust me, when she's in her zone, it's like watching a sword storm tear through the screen. The key is boosting trigger probability to activate her passive more often, because that passive restores sanity and lets you extend her ultimate even longer. The beautiful thing about Berenica is how flexible she still feels after all this time. With the right passives, especially Afterburn, which ignores Fairlight sanity consumption, she can just keep going, slicing through everything without burning out. Add the Intron 1 upgrade and suddenly, her ultimate feels endless, like a highlighted reel that never stops. Sure, she's not as brain-dead powerful as she used to be, but in the hands of someone who knows what they're doing, she's still one of the most rewarding characters to master. Going back to Sibyl for a second, she's kind of the poster child for high risk, high reward. She can feel inconsistent at times, especially when her skill decides to hit the wrong target. But when everything aligns, she's a lightning storm of destruction. She's not a character you play casually, she's one you commit to learning, and the payoff makes it totally worth it. Lady Nightfall, on the other hand, is all about control. She doesn't just fight enemies, she dictates the pace of battle, slowing them, weakening them, and then striking back when the timing's perfect. It's almost poetic. She's the kind of character that rewards patience and precision, and that makes her an A-tier pick, not just for her numbers, but for how satisfying her gameplay loop feels. And finally, Yale and Oliver. If there's one word to describe them, it's style. Setting up bomb chains, luring enemies in, timing your detonations for that cinematic chain reaction, it's pure dopamine. They might take a bit of manual finesse to reach their full potential, but when you pull it off, they feel like S tier disguised as A. In the hands of a skilled player, they're walking fireworks shows of destruction, loud, fiery, and unforgettable. The main characters in this tier are In order from top left to bottom right, Psyche, Lin, and Fantasio. And now, we've reached the S tier, the gods among mortals, the characters that make you feel like you're cheating even when you're not. These are the ones that turn tough bosses into training dummies and make entire arenas melt under their damage. They're not just strong, they're absurdly strong. If the A tiers make you feel skilled, the S tiers make you feel divine. Let's start with Psyche, because she's basically the definition of high skill, high reward. If you play her right, she's one of the best characters in Duet Night Abyss, hands down. Her ultimate uses health instead of sanity as a resource, which sounds terrifying at first, but here's the catch, she can fly. As long as you know how to kite enemies mid-air, you're practically untouchable. Add in her sustain and defense boosts from Intron 1 and 4, and suddenly that HP cost doesn't seem so scary anymore. Plus, her skill naturally slows enemies, making boss fights way easier to manage. And when you start stacking critical hit buffs from her passive, she turns into a floating blender of destruction. Then there's Lin, who shares Psyche's risk for reward philosophy, but in her case, the risk is turning yourself into a turret. Her ultimate deals absolutely insane damage, but you're completely immobile while it's active. So yeah, if you pop it in the wrong place, you're basically serving yourself up as a free target. The trick is learning to position. Find the high ground, make sure nothing can flank you, then unleash chaos. Once she starts channeling, her attack speed skyrockets until her sanity burns out, and it's beautiful. Her skill, Laceration, also brings strong damage potential, especially if your companions are boosting ranged weapon damage to help you stack it faster. She's one of those characters that punishes bad habits but rewards good play like no one else. Now, Fantasio, easily one of the most stylish and satisfying characters in the game. He's like the conductor of destruction, turning combat into a perfectly timed performance. His gameplay revolves around stacking Adagio with Recitativo up to 10 stacks, then entering Bestial Fury through his ultimate and executing a Proas combo. The secret sauce? Landing a 4-hit Furious Claw combo followed by a jump into a plunging attack to trigger Fermata. And when you do, boom, massive damage buffs, a sanity refill, and full immersion mode engaged. It's a rhythm game disguised as a boss fight, and once you nail the timing, he absolutely shreds everything. What's really fun about Fantasio is his adaptability. You can switch up your combo patterns depending on the situation. The 3-hit combo with the beam during ultimate is great for range, but the 4-hit plus plunge into Fermata combo is where the real damage lives. He's not just strong, he's expressive. You feel like you're playing music with explosions instead of notes. So yeah, the S tier lineup isn't just about raw numbers, it's about mastery. Psyche rewards aerial control and precision, Lin demands tactical setup and awareness, and Fantasio turns mechanical skill into art. These are the characters that separate the casuals from the pros. Not because they're easy to win with, but because they let you express pure skill once you understand them. When everything clicks, when the timing's perfect, and the screen lights up with explosions and criticals, that's Duet Night Abyss at its best. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.